Hello, everyone, and welcome to the stream. This is Otaku Showboat. Today is Sunday, February 16th, 2020. If you're watching the VOD on YouTube, don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and if you are so inclined, head on over to twitch.tv/Otaku Showboat to leave a follow to be notified when I go live Sundays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays from 10 a.m. to approximately 1 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time. You can do all of the social stuff through the links below the video, including supporting Pyandon's Monster Development at patreon.com/Pyandon and myself at patreon.com/Otaku Showboat. Speaking of Patreon and all that good stuff, I have updated my stream start and the stream break screens, so now I have credits going for the patrons and like thank yous to folks. It's new. It's new. Brand new, starting soon. Looks a little bit like this. Has all of the supporters there, and the quick break is just the same thing, just says quick break. So yeah, it's nicer. It's nicer now than it was. And a little bit more relevant now that I actually have names to list. It's nice having names to list on credits for support. I like having names to list. Thank you, all of you who now have your names listed. If you want to have your name added to the list, the Patreon tier for that minimum is copper, which is $5. $5, same as a Twitch sub, for the exception that I actually see much more of that than a Twitch sub, which is why it gets the name on the list. So, Factorio, let's play. Let's play some Pi Alien Life, which has had many updates apparently since the last time that I played. Lots of things are updated with Pi Alien Life. So we shall see what all of the changes are, for one. Two major changes that I can tell off the top of my head, which is that glass, now like glassware, flasks, now has many recipes, many more recipes than just one. It has like five, four ish more, something like that. Four total. I don't know. I have to look at it again. It's more. More is more. It's pretty nice. The sad thing is we cannot do the best recipes quite yet. We need to get to purified quartz for that, which that would require a little bit of work to do. And basically, the point of these new recipes is that it improves the ratio of stoppers to glassware. That's all it really does. Is it's improving the ratio of stoppers to glassware, which is very much appreciated. The other thing is Fawogae mushrooms now operate in the exact same way as all of the other plants and animals, with potential hints that this may come with the other stuff that doesn't currently have it, like the moon drops. Yeah, these might get the same plant treatment. Don't know quite yet. They are noticeably lacking the plant treatment on the moondrop greenhouses. So for now though, Fawogae. Yeah, there's now Mark 1, 2, 3, and 4 versions of Fawogae. You have to put them in as modules into the Fawogae plantations. You should be able to upgrade them to Mark 2, 3, 4, etc., etc. There's a recipe to make your first Fawogae mushroom, which this is fine. I don't need to because I have a whole bunch right now stored up. So I just need to go around and shove some Fawogae into the various machines where I am making Fawogae. As for this setup, I did a slight edit off screen, just some slight editing off screen to this right here, this section in the chromium that we were setting up last time. Just to make sure that we have even lanes going in here. This should inherently be somewhat even, but it was right in here that there was backups on this top lane. Still a little bit of that, but now at least it's flowing right here. It was backed up all the way and it was causing some issues with output on these two machines, so I had to fix that, and I think this was all that was really required. I don't think I really needed to do this exactly, but you know what? Overkill. We'll just say more is better on that front. And hey, time is passing, and all this is getting backed up, and it's glorious. And ideally, this last one will not ever back up. It will operate fully, and we'll have green lights all the way down, except for these last two on the end, potentially flashing into red on occasion. That will be ideal, and I can see, oh hey, we've got chromium. We've got what looks like to be potentially a little bit more than a red belt, or yeah, a little bit more than a yellow belt. 19-ish per second is the output that we are supposed to be getting here. And yeah, it sort of looks like that's what we're doing. So today, first off, let's start by fixing the Fawogae. If I can find where I left my car. Why did I leave my car all the way up here? Oh boy. So we need to fix the Fawogae, and we need to set up, get the chromium onto a train, and set up the trains for the chromium. That's the start of the day today, and that will be followed by working more directly towards getting niobium and processing niobium. So, today being the first stream after the glorious and wonderful Singles Awareness Day, that was February 14th. I always break this. I always break this, and I don't. Why do I have that there? I don't know. So yeah, hope everyone had a time for all of that on Feb 14. I just did the usual thing, aka abso freaking lootly nothing. I sucked troll blood in Black Desert Online, which is what I've been doing a lot lately. I have been doing a lot of that, getting money, silver. I like money in my MMO RPG that I play. I do enjoy the money. So yeah, that's what I like do now. I just spend hours just going around, drinking energy pots, spending that energy getting blood and all the other rare drops that happen out of that. Anyway, mushrooms. Hi. Mushrooms. Glorious, beautiful mushrooms that stack to 300 apparently. Interesting. So we've got some mushrooms like all the way down the bus. Let's actually use the car. This is the point of the car. Yeah, I think this is the point for the car. So let's go and use the car. Just don't break any of the fragile alien life buildings in the process. That would be most ideal. Most ideal to not break the very fragile Pi alien life buildings that only have 100 health on them. Yeah. That would be fantastic. So where did I set up my mushrooms again? Somewhere? Here. Right down here. Out. So, modules. Yeah, hello. Right. This is what happens when you change the stack size. So, yeah, they are now stack size 10. From 300. So, yeah. And, let's just say these take a little bit. Let's see, that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They take a full stack each. They take a full stack each on the Mark 1 building. And then some. 2 stacks. So they take 20. Yeah, so King Arthur's already saying that the stack is being changed back up, apparently. Yeah, it's 2 stacks. So yeah, King Arthur is going to improve this from 10 to be a little bit higher than 10, because it's 2 stacks per building of the mushrooms. I hope you like mushrooms. I hope you like mushrooms. So, let's see. This recipe. Oh yeah, and I was gonna be like, oh hey. So King, you mentioned the fact that I don't have any recipes that should have been overwritten anyway when you do a tech reset. I totally have recipes that should be overwritten that I now have because the tech reset unlocks them. Anyway. I don't have that for the other animal products, but I have it for the stuff here, the spores. Yeah, the higher tier buildings are even more stuff. Anyway, how many do I have right here? Like, what's the number here? 40. So, with all of the modules, it's 3.2 out for 40 plantations on this particular recipe. I need to actually have a look now and see what the viability is now for the better recipes. Now that we've got a crafting speed of precisely 1.0. Our crafting speed is precisely 1.0 with 20 mushrooms in the building. Yay! Yeah, so this getting the repeat recipes to begin with, like, look here, because the upgrade to get the 0.6 out, the tech for the 0.6 out came before even unlocking Navins and Bodos and Yadals. So I end up unlocking the 0.4 recipe after already having the 0.6. That's how this initially started. Um, and then of course I've had to run the tech reset script a couple of times now, which would have unlocked the point fours again anyway. But it never did replace the point four with the point six for the Fawogae spores, so there's that too, on top of literally everything else. So I'm going to fill my car with mushrooms right now, because I've got a few more mushroom farms out here to take care of. Cannot forget about the 15 mushroom farms out there that's helping to make my bone meal. That would be most ideal to keep on making bone meal. Yes, that is a rock, Car. I know that is a rock. Thank you for letting me know that there's a rock right there. And there. As I glance away to look at chat every so often. Yep, those are rocks. Those are rocks. I am apparently going to set up aluminium out in that particular patch at some point. Maybe. I have it marked on my map. Oh hey, I have sulfur. There's some sulfur right there. Auto-saving. So what was like major changes outside of this, which I apparently didn't need to bring any mushrooms out here because I was smart and put a buffer chest for mushrooms. So apparently I didn't even need to carry any mushrooms out here. I am so smirked, SMRT. So outside of mushrooms and glassware, like, what are the major changes? Since Thursday? Because I haven't paid too much attention. So yeah, flask. Every time. So now there are 4 recipes. By the way, King. There's a slight problem with the sprite on this last glassware recipe that's just been added. Slight problem. So, glassware basic recipe is 2 stoppers to 1 glassware. Yeah, blame Pyadon. Who will apparently be here later, as well. You can now add boron trioxide to make it a 4-to-3 ratio rather than a 2-to-1. Hello! Hello, welcome. Welcome. You have made the stream live and missed a slight amount. I have now added modules to my mushroom plantations. There is also this recipe now for the glassware, which makes it 1-to-1. And then there's the last one here that adds hot air to the same previous recipe to make it 5-to-7, which, I mean, duh. I mean, who would do this instead of the hot air recipe? Like, I'm only ever going to do this hot air recipe. As soon as I can get purified quartz, I'm going to do this recipe. I mean, yeah, refined syngas, but by the time I'm set up to do the purified quartz, I'm gonna have refined syngas. So yeah, that's a thing. 1.5 hours later. That's the midway point. By the way, we'll be in our second half of our stream. So yeah, mushrooms are now different, and it's with. Oh, so King is technically the one to blame for the for that particular sprite issue, because and that I guess that recipe's entire existence is because of script for adding a hot air recipe. Okay, that's sure, and it's +2. Yeah, that actually makes sense because the hot air recipes add +2 generally to a lot of things. So that icon issue with yeah, that's from the auto generation. So yay, hello, welcome. So I was about to say that this whole mushroom thing completely changes like everything. I had on Friday recorded the requested video on the actual creature and plant mechanics of you need basically just me saying you need the creature for the building used as a module for the building to move and operate. And in order to get your first creature, you need to use a botanical nursery or creature, like whatever the hell it's called, creature assembly machine. Yes, the creature chamber. And I specifically mention, with exception of mushrooms. In that video, I specifically say, with the exception of mushrooms, this is what you need to do. More specifically, I say this is what you need to do for plants and animals. I say that you need to do this with your plants and your animals and some of your mushrooms, because I do know that I think the higher tiered mushrooms have this. Yes, the creature assembler. It is the creature assembler. You are literally assembling your first creature in that machine, and you are using it to grow the young in that as well. So yay! So yes, thank you, King. Thank you, King, for adding now. Like, I think it's all of the mushrooms now are using that mechanic. Every single mushroom variation has the same creature mechanic. So creature slash plant. The only notable thing missing, by the way, cough cough, is the moondrop. Uh, the only notable missing thing that I can think of off the top of my head that does not have this mechanic on it yet is moondrops. And King will apparently get to it soon. Good. Good. So then literally all life all life will operate with this mechanic, and I can just say all life will operate with this mechanic. Um, does that technically mean that your first creature, quote unquote, is now going to have to be Fawogae? I don't think so. Depends on when the mushrooms get used. Excuse me while I search. It yeah, it's used. It's yeah, red science. Yeah, red science. So as long as you all right, no, that's not mushrooms. I keep getting confused. So, by the way, King, basic substrate is still called Fawogae substrate in the code, just for reference. The name of the basic substrate is still Fawogae substrate in the code. That's why it's confusing me right now looking at this. Because now basic substrate is not Fawogae substrate. It's not made with mushrooms at all. Yeah, and you're completely redoing all the numbers. That's something else that I noticed. Oh, hey, my bot actually did something of use. Yeah, that actually did something of use. Yeah, you're that one's actually gonna get completely gone. Yeah, goodbye. Goodbye, advertiser. That one's like buy follows and views and prime subs. What? No. Why would like if you need to do that, you have bigger problems. You have really bigger problems. Anyway, um yeah, no. So I think, yeah, I think the first mushrooms is primers. Like the first required use for mushrooms, I believe is going to be primers. There's these more advanced routes recipes, but that's later. So primers is alien sample 2. It's only a 0.7. Huh. I did not realize. That's only a 0.7. So, anyway, that's a thing. That would be the first primary use, I think, on the mushrooms. I mean, you could always just do mushroom coal, mushroom relesia aromatics, but yeah, in terms of stuff and things and food, I mean, I guess the first time you will probably make mushrooms now in the current state of the game would be to make og food. That's probably going to be your first use of mushrooms is to make food for other creatures. And that is how I would do it, by the way. That's how I would do it. I would not do this phytoplankton Fawogae biomass personally. I would not have access to Mukmo yet. By the way, that I keep noting this. Are these still? Yes. So these are still circuit board 2s. Like, really? Come on. Like you can make my point here is that you can make Mukmo and not be able to actually make the pastures for them yet until you get circuit 2s. Like you can make your first Mukmo without having circuit 2s yet. As long as you set up artificial blood, that's the limiting factor on making your first Mukmo will be the artificial blood, which yeah, you can make albumin from blood. You can make the Flutec PP6. You'll need to do some cobalt processing. You'll have rare earth oxides, so you need to do the entire rare earth chain. Congratulations. You'll be really close to circuit 2s by then. By the way, it's like, oh hey, rare earth oxides. That's like one of the major things that you need to set up fresh going into circuit 2s, and you'll have it. And you'll have it. And mixed ores also needs rare earth ore on top of that with the copper and the nickel. So Yeah, that's to get your cobalt extract. Oh hey, and cyanic. So congratulations, more urea being used for your cyanic. And yeah, I mean, acid gas, that's your cadaveric aurum. You now have access to make the cadaveric aurum to get acid gas consistently. So there's your source of the acid gas to get your cobalt fluoride for your Flutec PP6. The Decalin, this is all stuff that you can make just fine. This is not going to be too difficult outside of the potentially the aromatics, depending on how you get a consistent supply of that, which we will, by the way, we will need to be thinking about the consistent source of aromatics today. Okay, let's let's start moving on to trains. Yes, train time. Time for the beautiful locomotives. Do I actually have any trains like on me? I do have locomotives and their cargo wagon. A cargo wagon. Okay, there's more. Did I see your low density structure recipe? I mean, I saw you talking about a low density structure recipe. I did not pay attention to what was the actual recipe. Yes, time to train the trains. That's basically what we're doing. We are training trains. It has 10 items for low density structure. Now, I'll be completely honest, I don't really think I did much ever with low density structure on the off the rails playthrough. I think I made only enough low density structure to like make the uh the equipment that I needed. My my beautiful Mark II power armor. Yeah, that stuff. Power armor. And some I think some of the things that go into the power armor, like I think the fusion reactor uses LDS, something like that. Low densities. What actually are you used for? Power armor Mark II. Portable fusion reactor. Yes, those are what I use the LDS for. It has 10 items now. Oh gosh. Well, as long as it replaces super alloy, I don't care how many things that LDS has. If you replace super alloy, I really don't care how many items are required in LDS. Just get rid of super alloy. Oh, it's still there. Well, screw that. I would no, no. Not when you would need the amount of LDS that you need on a normal base. If you were planning on doing satellites, if you're doing satellites, thinking of doing satellites, and have to have a constant consumption of LDS for that, no, just no. Why would you have super alloy and super steel? That's that's pain. That's just straight suffering right there. It's not the copper cost that's the issue on the LDS. It's the super alloy cost. That's the biggest pain. If you added nichrome to it, then it's like, oh gosh, yeah, this is late game, like real late game. All the chromium stuff. Well, the biggest pain with the chromium stuff is not the chromium itself or most of its alloys. It's just nichrome, because nickel is the big pain point there. I'm going to bring train tracks down here. Am I carrying any signals? Why would I be carrying signals? That's a, you know, the whole point. Ferrochromium is actually decent. It could use that extra use. That stuff, once you can make molten, is bearable. Bearable at molten for the ferrochromium. Not so much the actual plate method of getting the ferrochromium. Molten is significantly better. Do I still not have better power poles? No, because I still don't have niobium. We are, read title of stream. We are on the path to the niobium. So, yeah, I do this after. Why am I trying to do this first? I do that after. Make your station and then think about how it hooks up to the main network. That's how we operate around here. You are unloader. Where's loader? There's loader. Yeah, there's loader. That's a good loader.